Welcome once again to the story behind the solution, a production of the Enterprise Development Program of Inuka Kenya Nisisi. This is a program that looks at enterprise development for civic actors, where we have realized that financial precarity makes people be prone to being bribed and taken advantage of. At Inuka Kenya Nisisi, we believe that Kenyan problems have Kenyan solutions. And in this episode, we get to interact with Mary Jones Akinyi from Kisumu County, who tells us a little bit about herself in her story, where she comes up with a solution using art to help other civic actors. Welcome to this episode. Welcome, Mary Jones, and you can start by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, Eunice. It's an honor to be speaking with you today. My name is Mary Jones Akinyi. I'm a visual makeup activist, an art therapist, and a film director. I'm the co-founder of MJ Creative Haven. It's a space I have created where individuals are welcome to express themselves artistically. Hapo hakuna perfection ama nini, just come the way you are, because it is a space I have created for you can be as vulnerable as you are and for transformation. Yes. And in line of visual makeup artist, I use my makeup artistry skills to advocate for mental health, sexual reproductive health and rights, and also curb SGBV and GBV. I use the face as the canvas. Amazingly or surprisingly, yes, that's what I do. And I'm an activist, yes.
Thank you much for that introduction and the work that you continue to do. So maybe you can take us back to that moment when you realized that this is what you want to do, that the kind of work that you do, your activism, can be a solution to some of the problems that face young people in Kisumu City.
In line on art therapist, I decided to venture and start an MJ Creative Haven. As a first-hand experienced person, activism can be so overwhelming. It's so draining, especially when you're getting bashes and bullying from social media. At times people accusing you. So kuna times nilienda back to the trenches and I was so depressed. And I'm a lover of painting, and I decided, what am I going to do? I can't kill myself. What do I distract myself with? I started painting. So I saw through painting, I actually healed, and I decided if there are other individuals like me out here and others have lost their lives to suicide, how about I start this art therapy, healing through painting? That's how I started it. And I was fueled by my mentor, who is polite, because I was in a dilemma. How do I start it? I don't have money. I don't have the resources. How do I approach these people? She guided me on how to do it. And I've been having often activities of painting. Like, for example, an instance in my last activity, I had a call. It was a last minute slot. And this Chile was asking me to slot someone and make them come and engage with us in this activity. Well, I said, why not? So during the activity, on that day, I organized the paintings and the cardboards where they were going to paint, and there were printed papers. And I invited them because it's a space where you come as you are. You share your vulnerability. There's this one girl, I didn't know, at that moment, I didn't know what was going through her life. Mimi, my aim was to bring you back to your center and distract you from your daily struggles. So it was during this feedback moment, I was looking at everyone's painting, but her painting was so unique. It communicated. And I really wanted, to me, I didn't want to assume but I had understood whatever she was trying to explain in her painting. And I engaged her during the feedback moment, and she confessed how depressed she is, how her life has been chaotic to a point that she was suicidal. And at that moment, iliniuma, and then like you want to show empathy, but then again you don't want to sympathize. I walked her through and we talked, and I'm glad right now she's alive. I came to know about this also from a feedback confession from her friend who told me, you know what, the activity that we had today really saved a life. Yes, because my friend was so suicidal. If you hadn't agreed to invite her, I don't know if today we would have this conversation. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe tell us a little bit more about space that you have created where you use art as therapy for people who are feeling depressed, people who are feeling like everything about life is becoming oppressive and depressive.
Okay. There are moments where we do always have art exhibition, like from our last activity at Baraza Media Lab. I was called as an art therapist in the panel discussion and unveil to people how this works. You know, the style I'm bringing it is new, is not is new from the traditional style of therapy through words, but I bring it in painting. Yeah.
Maybe describe to us or tell us if someone is interested, what is this space or where is this that someone can come if they want to practice their art, if they want to experience some form of healing from the art that you do?
Okay, currently I'm at a space known as the Soul Space. It's in Milimani here in Kisumu. It's a space that is owned by Lake Region Women Health and Equal Rights. You don't have to pay for a fee. I always have these activity, I roll them out on social media. So through sharing, I make sure that I have posted it online so that everyone is kept on the loop. So you are SVP. I'm looking forward to days where it will just be open because therapy is so expensive. But then again, you get some people, they can't vent through speaking, but through expressing their paintings through colors, because unapata hata kwa abstract art, unajua mtu anaweza angalia tu art yako hivi, maybe umemwaga rangi hapo, but your art communicates. You have a purpose why you choose red and blue and yellow and you just smeared it. That also speaks your emotions. It doesn't have to be that perfect, like you've drawn an image communicating. Through just abstract, you communicate. So I'm always on social medias. uh, Instagram, each abort. That is where I post most of these activities and engage more people. And you'll get, I don't know, I always put these activities through my intuition also. I let my intuition guide me because siwezi tu tulia tu, something just pops in my mind. We are doing this tomorrow. Yes, yeah.
Maybe take us a little bit back. When did you know that you would get into art? Is that something you studied in school or is it something that has started on later in life?
It has started later in life, and I've been driven to activism because of the challenges and the problems we face daily. And how then do you communicate to the community in a layman's? Unajua, not everybody gets an opportunity to sit with policymakers in the boardrooms, or rather they don't sit in boardrooms to address their issues. But through my art, as a poet also, I'm also a poet, and also as a visual artist, I create images, visual storytelling. Yeah, and I have been fueled by the struggles we get. SGBV is an issue, mental health is an issue, it connects with climate change. So these are the things imenifuel nikaanza my course and how okay, we've talked about these operations, we've talked about the solution, but unapata our energies are being drained emotionally, tuna lose stability. That's why nili eka adi iyo connectedness with healing through art. Now unwinding, yes.
Is this a monthly activity you do, or how often do you do, or do you convene these spaces where people express themselves through art and in effect get healing?
In a month, I do it thrice. Yes, but different styles. Like the last time I did was interconnectedness with meditation. I engaged people. We talked about our emotions. This was guided by the emotion wheel. We trigger those things that you don't want to talk about. Then I take you through a journey of meditation. After meditating is when you paint. You get that I don't leave you hanging, but at the end of the day, I want you to go back home feeling relaxed and calm. And at least you've talked about something that you wouldn't talk to with everybody or anybody. Unajua struggles ni mingi. Kuna mtu amenyamazia tu mashida zake. Yeah.
So, in this journey of activism, do you have people whose stories have meant the most for you besides the one who was about to commit suicide, you said? And through the art, how did that work out?
I have other impactful stories. I also use my voice to champion for the gender minority persons alongside sexual reproductive health and rights because most of the times people are always blinded by they look at your sexuality or your orientation first before they see you as a human being. But I've been the voice of the queer persons and still through this art I have used it to champion for the rights of every human because we want to live in a world where we are spreading love and grace. Yeah, I have most impactful stories aside from this girl's story. And
So, is it a one-off session or is it something that is continuous? That I come today, we have a session, I have another one, say next week. How does that work?
oh yeah, I do follow-ups. Yeah, I do follow-ups, and I've opened my WhatsApp to anyone who wants to talk to me after the session, because maybe some problems or rather some issues can't just be solved within a day. There is that often walk through in this journey of healing. Yeah.
You maybe tell us, do you interface with professional counseling psychologists?
Yes, I have.
Tell us a bit about that.
I I would say I alliance with Sam. We have Dr. Brenda and Muriel, whom some cases I can refer because we also need psychologists. You know me, I'm an art therapist. There are others that I cannot solve, but I refer.
Yeah, so looking forward, say 5 years from now, how will Kisumu be different because of this art solution that you are prescribing to the people who are art oriented?
In 5 years, I do believe that we will be somewhere in terms of mental wellness, mental well being. I believe we will be a healing city. We will be a healed city. I dream, or rather, I look forward to years and days where I would go to the street and all the walls have been turned into murals. like even the politicians, when they look at the walls, wanaona how the citizens are angered, or rather their issues have been just displayed through art on the walls. So sending in a message, waking a wake-up call. So I look forward to those days because unapata we have many visual artists in Kisumu, and the only times you'll see their works is when there is art exhibitions. But we want to see nimetembea hapa, instead of those billboards of I don't know what, we have our issues, or rather success stories displayed on the walls of our city. Yeah.
Yes, so in your work of art, do you have something you can share with us? You have said that you are a visual artist. What is that?
Okay, I have something I can show you guys here. I use my paints and just a brush to bring healing into your soul. And this is one of the arts that I did one of these fine days that I was so low. Yes, I just needed to remind myself that as the water, Mary Jones, you are like the water. You are like the water element. You can take any shape, any shape. Life can be chaotic, life can be overwhelming, but with all the tides, just like the water, you can overcome it. And I love crystals, and I gave it a little bit touch of crystals to give it a clarity in life. Yes, and I did some glittering sprays just to show me how at times I can lose my spark, but it doesn't mean that the sparkles are not there. They're there and they're so visible, only if I am more clearer on there. Yes, and these are the shells, and this is the land.
So, do you sell this art or do you just keep it for yourself?
Well, I do sell my art. I do sell my art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that one of the ways you put food on the table? Because I know sometimes for activists, economic empowerment is a bit of an issue. And we've seen a lot of, or some of the people who are at the forefront of advocating for service delivery, human rights, they often do not have a sustainable source of income. What is that you do to ensure that you don't go hungry?
I sell my arts. I make them look beautiful the way they are, and they will resonate. And I make it possible to resonate with you so that you can also have the value for money. Yes. Yeah, I do sell my artworks. And another way I put food on the table is through facilitating sessions of wellness and mental health. Yeah. Involve me, guys.
So if someone wanted to connect with you, maybe partner with you, or maybe reach out to you, how would they go about that?
I'm open to partnerships. Yes, I'm open to partnerships. We can talk and we see if we have shared goals. At the end of the day, we want people to be healed. We want people to not to walk around like zombies. Yes, we if we have shared goals and missions and visions, I mean, why not? Yeah, because I'm open to partnerships, because this is something that I don't want it to end. And I want people to see that you can heal through art. You don't have to go to the hospital to get injected or be given depressants. Why don't we try this other way also? Because it works. It works. 100% sure it works. And it is something that I would advise someone to invest on.
So to reach you, what are your social media handles, for example, on Facebook, Twitter, that's formerly Twitter X, Instagram? Maybe you can share with us.
Okay. My Instagram is each about Mary Jones. Facebook is Mary Jones. TikTok is Akinyi. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And also, I have a portfolio, you guys.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and we look forward to getting to see how this space opens up for a lot of other people. And from us here, the story behind the solution. Till next time, thank you for watching.